name is Chas Schmidt. I'm formerly a graduate student of the University of Nebraska. I'm currently doing my PhD at Rutgers University now. My previous work was on organic matter concentration, and we started off our project looking at organic matter throughout the continental United States. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to look at how different environments and how different regions of the United States accumulated organic matter. And we also wanted to look at how different management practices affected organic matter accumulation. So what we did is we went out to golf courses throughout the United States and took soil samples from them. And we also asked the superintendents to fill out a survey for organic matter so we could tie the management practices to specific organic matter amounts. And so what we found is we tried to correlate organic matter to different management practices and environmental factors. And in the end, what we found is that increased top dressing rates of 7 to 10 days were significantly better than monthly top dressing rates, as we can see there. And also what we found is that cultivation frequency was also effective on reducing organic matter. So when you're increasing from one aerification a year to monthly cultivation, we were seeing decreased organic matter. So in the end, we couldn't come up with a very good prediction equation with entering certain variables in, but we did find out that these variables were important in controlling organic matter. So things such as top dressing and increased cultivation will help you decrease organic matter. So that's one more important thing to realize when you're taking organic matter samples is where you're sampling from and how that's going to affect your organic matter. If you're sampling, the green material on the top, you're going to get more of an increased organic matter. Whereas if you remove the verdure and you just look at the mat and thatch region, you're going to have a decreased organic matter. So one important thing to look at when you're sampling is where you're sampling from, what area of the green you're sampling from. So then you can make determinations of what you're doing. Is it helping or is it making organic matter worse? And if you can sample from that region same time of the year, every year, it'll help you determine if what you're doing is right or if you need to do something else.
So what's better, sand top dressing or core aerification, or does it make a difference?
It's not really important what you do. It's just a matter of whether you can get to them. I guess how we would put it is we need to get to a total amount of the sand into the green to dilute the organic matter over the year. So if you can't top dress regularly every 7 to 14 days, then you're going to have to core cultivate twice a year and fill extra sand in. But if you can top dress every 7 to 10 days or 7 to 14 days, then you may not have to be as aggressive on your cultivation. You can do some needle tine cultivation or star tine cultivation and not be as aggressive. But we're going just as a recommendation. If you're not core cultivating, we say that every 7 to 10 days you need to be on a somewhat aggressive top dressing regimen. What we mean by that is you cannot go out with just a light dusting. You have to go out with something a little more heavy or something that you might actually see on the surface after you've brushed in. If you're not going as heavy and you want to do something like a core cultivation, then you can reduce that to 14 to 21 days, something like that. But you're going to have to get in and cultivate once or twice a year. And that's where it goes back to testing too. So if you're testing your greens in the same spot, same time of the year, you can determine whether your organic matter is going up or whether it's going down, and what you're doing, whether it's working or not. So sampling's important.
So where are you now?
So where I'm at Rutgers University now. And I have switched over and I'm working on the anthracnose project. We're looking at cultural management of anthracnose, and my specific project, I'm looking at nitrogen fertility rates on anthracnose and how that affects the disease.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a nice career.
Yeah.